I built this image using Photo Merge in Adobe Bridge. There were 3 separate shots, and I added vignette removal and geometric distortion correction. But with images like this that are long or wide, you may get more bowing along the edges. In fact, if you shoot with a high-end camera, a DSLR camera, the ones with changeable lenses, certain lenses can cause this bowing distortion along the edges. Now, sometimes that's a pleasing effect, but sometimes you want it to be more linear. Well, Photoshop CS6 has added a filter called Adaptive Wide Angle. So when I choose Filter Adaptive Wide Angle, I'm on the default tool, which is all we need to correct this. All I do is move over the area of distortion, and I'm going to try not to get too close to the Palace of Fine Arts, because as I correct this side and this side, it may pinch it a little bit too much towards the center. So if I come just above the wall, and I love this detail view so I could see exactly where I am, I can click and drag along the horizon line and let go. And when I let go, I get a circle with a white circle on the left and a white circle on the right that will allow me to rotate and correct the horizon. There, it's just in an instant corrected. Now I shot this from the right side, so there should be a little stepping over here, so I don't want to go too far. Let's try that on the opposite side. I'll get just above the wall, or the natural horizon in the photo, stretch to the end, and then grab the circle until I see the rotate icon, and correct, with the goal being this green line matches up to the angle or horizon in the photo. Now if I turn Preview off and on again, you'll notice there's a little bit of distortion where the Palace of Fine Arts isn't as wide as it appeared in the first shot. So I could click on either end here and stretch this a little bit further and do more correction up or down. That's making it thinner. If I go down, oops, just missed. And I leave this in on purpose in some cases. If you do miss, just Command Z or Control Z to undo it. I'll click once again, and I'll correct the opposite way. And there, it's gaining some of its width back. Now I can also use Shift, and Shift will create a different colored guide. This yellow guide is horizontal or vertical correction. And notice as you drag it, it gets a little bit curved because the horizon may have a bit of a natural curve. So I will click again, and there, I've got horizontal or vertical correction. I can pull this in, pull this in, and even spin the ends in a different direction. With any tool that I'm learning, I always take it to extremes first to see what it's doing, to see if I like the effect. There we have it. I'm happy with this result, so I'll click OK. But before I do, I could also do a fisheye, perspective, or full spherical. Now to create a full spherical image, you do need a 2:1 ratio, which this photo does not have. So we'll leave it on panorama. And I could also scale the correction. So just before I finish up, I'm going to enlarge this to get a little bit more of the width of the Palace of Fine Arts and fill the canvas that I have to work with. I'll click OK now. And I'll hit Command Z or Control Z for before and after. Amazing and easy to do. And we'll finish this off by hitting the letter C on the keyboard for crop, or choosing the crop tool. And with the crop tool, I'm just going to pull in to give me my final piece. In fact, I often tend to leave some of the sky in the shot, or even some of the ground, and let Photoshop make it up. When I press Return or Enter to commit to the crop, you can see my file size dropped by 3 megs. Then I can flatten this image. I'll double-click on Adjustments and double-click on Color and choose with my right-click on the layer, Flatten Image. Now I can go to a tool like my Magic Wand tool, click on the white, select, modify, expand, and I always use 10 for high-res images because I want to make sure there's a little overlap here, and then use the amazing Edit, Fill, Content Aware, and click OK. Fabulous. When I click on the next corner spot, I could use the cloning stamp tool, but I'm just going to aim for small spots outside the image, and it may help to zoom in. In fact, I'll do Command plus or Control plus to zoom in a little bit more, and I could see areas where I might have missed pieces. Shift click to add that corner. I can hold down spacebar and click and drag to move over. Shift click to grab that little piece. And shift click here. In fact, I could just use Select Grow or Select Similar to grab other areas that include white, since this is such a stark white. I'll finish it with Select, Modify, Expand, leave it on 10, click OK, Edit, Fill, Content Aware, click OK, and then I'll do Command D or Control D to deselect, and we'll take a look at before and after. So in my History panel, if I stretch it or even just scroll up so I don't move this out of view, this is where we began. Scroll to the last thing I did in History, the deselect. This is where we are. A beautiful, seamless, and not skewed photo. So give this new feature, Filter Adaptive Wide Angle, a try on some of your own shots where you've used photo merge, or some of your high-end shots where you get some distortion caused by the lens.